Hello and welcome. Today we are going to bust the scarcity myth and I'm going to teach you how to manifest abundance. So welcome to today's hangout. Now I want to ask you a few questions. Are you someone who's constantly struggling with not having enough time, or maybe you're saying to yourself, I don't have enough money, or maybe you're someone that just feels so drained every day, you just feel like I have got no energy to do anything today? Well, I'm going to teach you a three-step process that's going to help you shift those thoughts that you're having right now. And with my esteemed panel, we're going to do some examples and walk you through some of the ways that they've managed to change their mindset and to know that, in fact, they do have enough time, money, and energy. So we're going to do that in the next 60 minutes. Now, you may want to get yourself a pen and paper, or maybe you're into the techie world, you can get your laptop out, whatever you use, iPad, whatever. But you might want to take some notes from this, because it's going to be a very, very informative show. So, who am I and why am I talking about the law of attraction? Well, my name is Dana Smithers. I have had 3 small businesses, and I managed to go from zero money in my business, which of course is not very profitable, to creating a 6-figure income for myself. But I didn't do that just overnight. I did it with putting some processes in place, some action plans, some steps, getting clear on who my ideal client is. And I also mindfully and deliberately use the law of attraction to build my business. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today as well. I am a law of attraction trainer. I'm a business coach. I love working with women that are solopreneurs, mainly in the service industry. Either they're in startup, stuck, or they just might be starting over. So those are the types of clients that I work with. And I just love what I do. So I'm hoping that wherever you're at in your life, you're going to be looking and finding what your passion is, so that you can make a difference in the world today, because these 3 women that we're going to talk to today have found their passion, and they're definitely making a difference in the world. So that is going to be so super exciting to talk to them. So what I'm going to do right now is just ask them to introduce themselves, because we actually have a worldwide panel today. So I'm very excited about that. I also love the fact that with these Google Hangouts, we can reach so many people. I have clients in Australia, I have clients in England, in Ireland, in Norway, in Denmark, all of that, and throughout the States and Canada. So this is just a great platform to use if you are thinking about wanting to reach more people, and maybe you're a business coach as well. So this might be one way to check that out. So I am going to introduce one of my favorite people in the world, this gal has the greatest giggle you've ever heard in your entire life, and she's so smart and so lovable, and I just love her. Her name is Penny Petty. Penny, please introduce yourself.
Oh, Dana.
See, there's a giggle.
Well, it's just one of those things that just comes naturally to me. So thank you very much for having me here today. And I just feel honored that I'm on this panel with these other esteemed professionals and beautiful women. So my name is Penny Petty, and I am in Wasaga Beach, Ontario, Canada. So for anybody that may kind of know Ontario a little bit, it's just north of Toronto. So, and I love it here. It's beautiful. I am also a law of attraction trainer and coach. I have been a certified trainer since 2012, and I was trained through Michael Loge Enterprises, so he's the how-to guy for law of attraction. And I have been doing my own hangout show. I have the Hangout with Penny show. Might have a glare there. Every Friday nights, 8 p.m., where we just have a lot of fun. I give tips and tools about law of attraction, but one of my key messages is the importance of self-care. And that's my passion, is to be able to teach people that, number one, you need to take care of yourself first. So, thanks, Dana.
Love that, Penny. Yeah, thanks so much. And we'll definitely get back to you, and we'll also give people your website. And, you know, I've been on your show, and I love listening to it. And you're so right, the self-care, you know, whether you're a businesswoman, entrepreneur, or not, it's so very, very important. So thanks for being with us today, Penny.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. And next we're going to go to Lori Smithers-Ruiz. So, Lori, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came upon the law of attraction.
Hi, Dana. My name is Lori Smithers Ruiz and panel. A bit about myself. I lived in France for about 9 years after I got married, and that's kind of led me to where I am now in Vancouver after 12 years of working various positions, university and corporate wine world, creating a business where I take small groups of women on personalized tours of Paris and Provence. Provence because I live there, as I said, and Paris because there's now a direct flight Vancouver-Paris, and everybody should go to Paris if they need to, or I've thought about it even once. So, and the connections are very easy. I came upon law of attraction because it's quite simple. Dana's my sister. That was an easy connection. But I've always, I think, in my life, I've never seen the obstacles. I've never seen the why I can't. I've always seen the there's no reason why I can't do what I want to do. So that's how I came upon it, and I've been more, as Dana says, mindful of it since she's been doing it. So, you know, it's a win-win.
Thanks, Lori. And your website?
My website is, as soon as I get it back up, it's heartinprovence.com.
Great.
Yeah,
good.
She'd come up soon if I've been having a few technical difficulties, but let's see what happens.
And that can happen on Google sometimes too. But you know what? We're flexible. You know, there's no such thing as perfection, so we just go with it. And those of us that understand the law of attraction, we just put out there what we want. I just wanted to make one quick comment about Lori being my sister and her learning the law of attraction. Not everybody in your family, if you're a law of attraction practitioner,
that's true. So
on this one is going to go along with it. So what we do is we model it. I didn't ever twist her arm to say you've got to learn how to do this, but certainly I know the difference it's made in my life, and I know Penny would say the same thing and say, Bettina, not all your family members or even your friends are going to get this or not. It doesn't matter. You just use the law of attraction mindfully, and they'll see the results that you're getting, and they're going to say, so what are you doing? You know, how do you do that? So then you could approach the topic. So I just wanted to throw that in there because I think it's important that you know that some people will embrace it and some won't. So my next guest is Bettina, who has become a very dear friend over the years because we met actually on Google, what, about 2 years ago? I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so please introduce yourself and tell us where you are.
Thank you, Dana, and thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. And hello, panel, and hello, everyone. My name is Bettina M. Jensen, and I come from Denmark. And I am a coach and a law of attraction trainer. I have a small company called Focus and Flow, and I teach people how to manifest the life of their dreams by applying the law of attraction deliberately. The reason why I do that is because I believe that when we shift from being motivated out of fear to be motivated out of love, everything changes, and that's where the magic happens. Right. So I do workshops, seminars, and coaching. All of them, of course, the key point is around law of attraction. And as I said, I'm a certified law of attraction trainer, as well as Dana and Penny, and I was trained by Michael Loshi, who we all know.
Right.
Well, it's like almost like God, but
don't tell him that.
Well, that's an interesting one.
And my life haven't been the same since.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's really, I'm so honored to be here, Dana. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciate it. So, you know, it's funny. I kind of feel like this is a bit like The View. You know, we could just kind of go on and be talking about all sorts of different things because even though we have certain things we know we're going to talk about today, I do like it to make it kind of spontaneous so that if there's a teaching point that comes up, we're just going to throw it in. So I'm trusting that you're going to be okay with that. So I'm going to, because I am a trainer, and one of my sacred gifts is teaching, I'm just going to walk you back a little bit to the law of attraction. And you know, if I was doing a talk right now, I would raise my hand and I would say to people, okay, who here has ever used the word coincidence? Or is there anybody out there that's told themselves that's karma or that's fate or that's a little bit of serendipity? So normally I get a lot of hands going up. Well, What you may not realize, in fact, is that you're experiencing the law of attraction. So I'm going to go into some definitions and a little bit of history about how it's become so prevalent today, and also who trained me and the other two ladies. So you may have heard of this book. It's a classic, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's all about your words, your thoughts, and the vibes, and then what you manifest, and that's what we're going to talk about with law of attraction. So he was one of the first people. This is a very popular book right now. I read it. I pick it up actually quite a lot, and I'll just flip open to a page and find something that I want to read. So that's one of the earlier ones. This is also a classic, The Power of Positive Thinking, with Norman Vincent Peale here. It says, read this book and change your life. Well, the thing is, you can read the book, but you still have to do the work. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So that was written in 1952, and then I'm sure there are other books that came out, but not classics. And then the next thing that came out in the 2000 was this one, which a lot of people have read, The Secret. It came out in 2006. There was a TV show on it. Oprah interviewed a lot of the people that were responsible for being in this video that Rhonda Byrne created. She's also written other books. I believe, and I know Penny and Bettina will agree with me, that while The Secret is great, it did leave out a few things that we believe help the manifestation process a bit more. So I'm going to talk about that a bit. And then in 2006 as well, interesting, these all came out at about the same time, but that's also a collective consciousness at work. It's a law of attraction with the Esther and Hicks series. So this is, it's called the Abraham series. This is a great book too, definitely much more on deliberately creating. It's got a lot of good information in it as well. But for me, the star and who I got attracted to is this fellow right here, Michael Lozier, The Law of Attraction, the science of attracting more of what you want and less of what you don't want. And Michael taught Penny and Bettina and myself. Oops, not sure what that was. Yeah, anyway, just going on with this. So that's our, Michael is the how-to guy, and if you haven't read his book or gone to his website, please check him out, michaellozier.com. He also has a Friday Google Hangout where many of us appear on his show because we follow him, and we always learn something from this. So Michael's is about 2 million books now, Penny, that he's done.
Yes.
I think it's in 33 or 34 countries now. It's been translated.
Yeah,
34, I think.
Yeah, very, very popular book. Great stuff. It's the how-to guy. And a recent one that came out that you might be interested in for this reason. I can't prove to you that the law of attraction exists. I can't take a Petri dish and I can't do a scientific experiment, but there are some things that you can do, and this book is going to give you some of those examples. It's called E Squared. It's by Pam Grout. It came out in 2013, and it's 9 do-it-yourself energy experiments, and it has all to do with the law of attraction, because law of attraction is just energy. It's a spiritual law. It's just like the law of gravity. Also, if you think of electricity, I don't actually know how electricity works, but I do know that if I go to my light switch and hit it, it's going to go on and off. That's how the law of attraction is. But just like a light switch, I can be very mindful when I want the light on and when I want the light off. So hopefully by the end of the 60 minutes, you're going to understand that you can deliberately attract and manifest more of what you want. So you're going to get rid of that lack consciousness. But you can also do it mindfully, because the law of attraction operates 24/7, 365. It's always eavesdropping on whatever you're doing. It's no respecter of person. Doesn't care if you're young, old, male, female, where you live, what you do. It doesn't matter. It operates 24/7, 365, and it's always eavesdropping. All right, so let's just find out what that means. So there is a relationship And oh, actually, I'll just mention one more thing. If you, I wrote this book, The Power of Your Words, and it's got a lot of great little exercises and tips in it that you can do as well. You can go to my website and download it as a PDF file. And the reason I took that topic and called it The Power of Your Words is because everything that you manifest starts with your words. And this is how the relationship works. Everything starts with your words. And from those words, you form thoughts. And from those thoughts, whatever you're thinking, you're then going to get a mood or a feeling, or as we like to call it in the law of attraction, it's a vibe. You get a vibration from the mood or feeling. It's also an energy. So you're either going to feel excited and happy and positive and all of that and create that. You're going to, you know, have that high vibe going on. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you got the low vibe going on and you just feel like your energy is just being sucked out of you. So I'm going to show you how to shift that. I'm going to do that. And from that vibe then, that's how you get the results that you're getting in your life. So, Penny, I'm going to ask you, what kind of vibes do we have going on? There's only two kinds.
Well, there's only two, and they can either be a positive vibe or a negative vibe.
So what would this little guy be?
Oh, that's a ding, ding, ding. That is a positive vibe. That's a high vibe. Yeah.
So that's when we say the high five. That's when I kind of go crazy and I start doing this stuff. Yay! And I start celebrating. I think Penny's got a happy dancer. What do you do, Penny, when you celebrate?
Well, I laugh a
lot.
I
know you like wine.
My wine. Yeah.
You know, whatever makes you feel good, right? Clap, whatever. And so, Bettina, if we're not working with the positive vibe, what do we have going on?
Oh, the negative vibes. And we don't like them.
Okay, so we get this. So we know it's words, thoughts, vibes. There's an energy to it. So let's take a look at this, because this is what we're talking about. Scarcity, when you think in lack, I don't have enough, is fear-based. So Lori, you tell me. I'm going to go here. What do we got going on in fear and lack and scarcity? Lori's frozen, so I'm going to go to you, Bettina. What do we have here?
Negative vibes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So when you feel like you don't have enough time, you don't have enough money, life's, well, maybe a roller coaster, but not a happy roller coaster. When all those things are going on and you say you don't have enough, this is where you're vibing. It's very low. But when we talk about abundance being prosperity, we know that there's always enough. So that's how we start thinking. And Penny, what's the vibe that we get going on with that one?
Oh, it's a positive high vibe.
It's
the
a
one
positive,
you want to be in.
Right. So are we going to tell ourselves we don't have enough time to do what we want to do?
We have plenty of time.
We have plenty of time. So that's what we're going to talk about. Well, how do you create time? Okay, well, there are ways to create time, but I don't have anything to do with quantum physics or anything like that. So we're not going to go into that. But actually, I just reminded myself of something. This guy's one of my favorites, Albert Einstein. He says, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. He says it can be no other way. And I love, he said, this is not philosophy. This is physics.
Physics.
Personally, I flunked physics, but when I took it, I took it for a couple of weeks in university, and I quickly changed to sociology or something, because this is not my thing. But I do understand, and I know how to deliberately use the law of attraction. So you don't have to understand physics, but I just thought I'd throw that in there. So I'm going to give you a definition about the law of attraction. And this is from Michael Lozier's books, and I love to use it. So if you want to write this down, you can go ahead, or you can just listen to it. So the definition says that I attract to my life whatever I put my attention, energy, or focus to, whether it's wanted, which is usually positive energy, or unwanted, which is usually negative. So I'm going to say that again. So attract to my life whatever I give my attention, energy, or focus to, whether wanted or unwanted. So if you think about that, and now let's move into the topic about busting the scarcity myth, into knowing that there is enough time, there is enough money, and there is enough energy. So before I get into that, and I'm going to have the ladies talk about how they've managed to find enough time, money, and energy when at first it didn't seem like it was there, but I'm just going to introduce this little thing first. This is called abundance. And abundance is a feeling. Now, some of you might think, well, abundance is a thing. Well, when you get that thing, you may feel abundant, or you may not. You may feel you're in scarcity. So, Lori, are you with us?
I think so.
Okay, good. All right. So, Lori, good. Sometimes internet, a little in and out, but we're fine with that. So, Lori, where do you feel? I think she's frozen. No, she's okay. Okay, where do you feel abundant, Lori?
Abundant.
What areas in your life? Where would you say there's some abundance?
Well, I'm most thankful and conscious of health, considering I know how old you are and you know how old I am chronologically. I think we're both very healthy, have lots of energy. I compare myself to the people I know, the friends, people of my age that take medication, that don't exercise, that are always complaining about how bad they feel. I know that because what I'm doing now as a chef is physical, that the abundance is enough energy to do that. And this is hard work, physically as well as mentally. But the abundance is there to manage the time that I have, so that I just feel good about when I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right. Good. Okay, so that's that's not talking about money at this point. It's just like, this is how I feel, and I feel abundant in my health. I feel really well.
Well, and what it's kind of oddly enough what our father said. You do what you love, what you like, and the money will come. It was the lesson that's kind of, I think, embedded in both of us. So the money is the bonus after the abundance of doing what I want to do.
Right. I love that. So. I love that you said it that way. And Bettina, what about for you? Where do you feel abundant? Because I know we talk about this a lot, and we're always a little bit giddy about how happy we are with the life we're creating. But where do you specifically feel abundance?
Well, it's very similar to what Lori mentioned, because every day I actually start my day by feeling abundant and grateful for being alive and being able to get out of my bed on my own.
Hey, that's good. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, but I really feel like I have so much abundance in my life in so many areas, money-wise and family-wise and friend-wise, and yeah. Sometimes I feel like a little leprechaun with a pot of gold, and it just keeps coming back. It's like that. It never runs out.
Right.
So it's always there.
I love that. Yeah, thank you so much on that.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for everything that happens.
And we're going to talk about gratitude, how important that is to express that every day as well. So thanks for that, Bettina. And Penny, where about you? I know you have a lot of abundance in your life, and you know, you've taken some really nice trips, and I think we were on Michael's show a couple weeks ago, and you brought out your attraction box. Like, how amazing was that, of all the things you attracted? Yeah. So where do you feel the abundance, Penny?
First of all, it's the awareness, and when you know the awareness between what our thoughts are, but what my greatest teacher for me to learn about abundance is nature. I love going out in nature, and when I had that awareness, I would go walk the beach, and I would totally just feel the abundance that is here for me. You couldn't count those grains of sand if you like ever. Or if you go in the evening and you look up at the stars, this is all abundance. And when you can get this feeling that you live in such an abundant universe, that anything that you desire, once we shift our mindset, we are abundant. So I am totally abundant. And I loved it, Dana, when you were showing all your books, I was like turning thinking, I got that book, and I got that book, and I got that book.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh. So, you know, and I just, this is abundance for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just this beautiful feeling that we're together here. Like this is, we have an abundance of
high
vibes right now. Yeah.
Exactly. This is rich. And also, thanks for that, Penny, Bettina, and Lori. And certainly money does come into the equation, but there's just so much abundance around us and so much prosperity there, and that can come in the form of time, money, or energy, because that's what we're talking about right now. But if you can be mindful and shift that consciousness, and I'm going to give you my little 3-step formula at the end of this, how you can do that very mindfully. But the other day I was doing a Google Hangout, and I had one of my female entrepreneur friends from my tribe, because that's another place of abundance as well. I like to get on social media, I like to connect with people, I like to go to networking events where I'm hanging out with really awesome women, and I had this woman, Janice Porter, on the show talking about networking and LinkedIn. She's a LinkedIn kind of guru. So, and she also does send out cards. So I had her on the show, and she thanked me, and I thanked her. And then she sent me this little abundance ball. Oh, that is so amazing. So that was just an unexpected gift, and I love it. I actually have it on my my light right here, and I look at it every day, and I'm very grateful for that. And but yes, too, when we get things on sale, I'm a woman. I love shopping, ladies. I'm sure there's some of you that would join me in that. But when I go shopping, if something's on sale, I absolutely love it. Doesn't mean that I won't buy something that's not on sale, because I'm going to ask that question, does it matter? Do I really want to pay full price for this, and would I love it? But it's amazing what I can attract, the sales, the...
I've been shopping with you. I can verify that.
Exactly. We attract good stuff. We attract the right size. We attract the right color. I know when I wanted to get my red coat, my sister was with me. We walked into the store, boom, bang, it was on sale, was my size, perfect. Recently we got some, 2-for-1 coupons for an afternoon tea. So, it just, the abundance just keeps coming. But you've got to be aware of it, ladies. You've got to be mindful, and you've got to express gratitude for every single thing that you believe you have attracted and is good in your life. And here's the flip side of that, and you might not like to hear it, but I'm going to tell it to you anyway. You are accountable for all the good stuff that you attract in life. Look at this beautiful mug. I love that.
I bought that.
You bought that for me, right? So everything that you attract in your life, you're accountable for. And all those other not so good things in life that you attract, you're also accountable for those. So what Penny and Bettina would say if they were teaching as well, the teaching point would be, if you don't like what you're manifesting, then what do we have to do, Bettina?
We have to use our reset button, and we have to reset,
and we have to reset
our words. Because when we reset our words, we reset our thoughts,
and from that,
our feelings or our vibes, and consequently our results.
Right. And so the only way to get a different result is to be aware of this formula. Right?
Yeah,
is to actually do it. Perfect. So what I'd like to do now is, Lori, I'd love for you to tell us a story about, just saying that, finding time to, like, you're a busy lady, right? You are always busy. You've always got things going on, and I know that you're always juggling because you're a chef as well, and you've got your chores, and like everybody, right? We're all busy. So maybe give us a story about how you manage to mindfully shift your thinking that, yeah, I do have enough time. So can you tell us about that?
Sure. So when I started, and I really don't know how this started. I'm a chef for two catering companies in Vancouver, 2 large ones. One, I started as just a server for something to do part-time for fun. And the other one I approached because it's a different quality, and I'm learning much, much more with them. And then I have my tours, my Heart in Provence, that I'm promoting. And so I needed income where I had flexibility to be able to do my tours. I couldn't do a 9-to-5 job and take holidays when, you know, when I needed to. So, and I just kind of set forth the idea, well, I need these 2 jobs, I need the 2 incomes, I need them never to conflict, I need to have a full calendar, and I need flexibility, and everything has fallen into place. I've never had a conflict where I've been supposed to be at one job and I go to the other one, or yeah, that's a big fault. Or one has asked me to work and I've had to turn down the other one. It's all just worked very well. But the thing that kind of saving me, it's not a time thing, but I use a paper calendar as well as an electronic one, just in case the electronic one doesn't work the way it's supposed to.
Good.
No, it's my backup, and it's a reference. It makes me very secure in what I'm seeing, so that I can manage that time. And I never thought I would have this flexibility. And when I need time off, I just say no to both those jobs and take a day.
That's perfect.
Sometimes it works really well. You know, I get 9 or 10 or 12 days in a row, which I've had recently, and then I'm just tomorrow I'm doing a networking day.
Nice.
So I'm not doing anything physical. I've committed to doing something more promotional, and it just, I never thought it would work out this way. I don't say never thought it would work out this way. I'm pleased and thrilled that it has worked out this way.
Right. And that's great, Lori. And something that Lori's done here is something that I have a 4-week program coming up where I will teach you how to use the law of attraction, how we're doing here. But this is what Lori's done, is she's identified her desire. So when you do that, when you get clear on what it is you want, you're much more easily able to manifest it. Because if you don't know what you want, how can the universe bring that to you, right? It's a law that's going to give you the vibes. You know, when you ask for it, you've got to be really clear on what it is you want. And Lori did perfectly with that, and the timing has worked out really well for her. And as a self-employed person, she, you know, it's a little bit of a business teaching here, but she's going to do networking tomorrow at a business event to promote her tours in France as well. But because she's decided she's got the time and she made that choice, right? She asked herself, does it matter? Which matters here? And she made that choice. So that's just great. So Penny, let's go to you and let's talk about when people say they don't have enough money, because, you know, as coaches, Penny, you and I, sometimes we hear that, oh, I'd really like to work with you, but I don't have enough money. And so they get into that scarcity thought, and, you know, conversations carry on and on. But I know recently you were telling me about how you attracted something that, in fact, could have cost money, but didn't. So I'm not sure what story you're going to tell us today, but let's hear. You got a lot of stories, because you're attracting all the time, right? It just manifests, right? So let's hear what about money. Yeah.
I have so many stories.
I know.
I know which one you're talking about, but I want to share 2 then.
Okay.
I want to share when I went to Hawaii, when I booked my trip to Hawaii, and someone suggested that I rent a vehicle. So I took their advice and I rented a vehicle. So when I was online looking, I saw this Mustang. I was like, oh my gosh, would that ever be so great, having this Mustang in Hawaii? It was a convertible.
Convertible, yes.
Yeah, it was a convertible. And then I'm like, oh, well, you know, I think it was going to cost me an extra $400. I'm like, well, you know what? Like, I really don't want to spend another $400. So I started getting that money thing going on. So I just went with the very basic. But in my mind, I still thought, oh, but I let it go. Didn't think any more of it anymore. I get to Hawaii. I'm at the airport. Now I'm going to pick up my car. And if there's this Mustang convertible right at the entrance of the door, and I walk to it and I'm like, oh, would I ever love driving that? So I go in and I get up to the desk, and the lady says to me, she looked around. She says, "Are you here by yourself?" She saw, my driver's license, Ontario, Canada, and I said, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't even go for coffee by myself." So I started telling her a little bit, and she said, "Oh, I love you." And so she says, "Do you like Mustangs?" And I said, "I love Mustangs." She says, "How would you like that one?"
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, "Well, what's the extra charge?" She said, "You have a choice, white," which was that one, red or blue, convertibles. And I said, "Well, what's the extra cost?" She says, "Oh, no. She said, shh, I'm going to upgrade you." So I picked the red one, Dana. You would love that. So I picked the red convertible Mustang that I was upgraded. So it was just one of those things where it's like, okay, I had that little thought about I don't have enough money to upgrade, but I let it go. And then that feeling, abundance is a feeling. And when I walked there and I had that feeling, it's like, oh, I would love to drive that. I didn't say, oh my gosh, I couldn't afford that, right? Yeah. So, and the universe provided for me.
Yeah,
but
that.
Another one you were talking about was this pair of boots.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've been wanting these black pair of boots, but I've been looking, trying to find, it's like, oh, I didn't really want to spend the money on a pair of boots. But, and anyway, so I found this new hairdresser, and I go there, and she says to me, "What size of shoe do you wear?" I said, I told her. She says, "I'll be right back." And she comes walking down, back downstairs with these awesome pair of black boots. I probably could not have found them that perfect myself. And she says, "Try these on." So I'm like, oh my God, I love those boots. So I tried them on, and she said, "They don't fit me." So she says, "They're yours." I'm like, "Well, how much?" She's like, "Oh, no. She says, they're no good to me." She says, "You can have them." So there again, it's like, oh, right? It's just like, put it in your mind and just feel like, I felt like, oh, I would love to have these boots that I'm at, and they show up. It's just trusting, be aware when you know this shift. And I just want to say one more thing, and then I'll pass it on, is that's when we were talking about abundance. So anybody out there that's listening, if you think and you're saying things like, I'm not abundant, I never have these things show up in my life. Right now, you're experiencing abundance. Only you're the opposite way. You're experiencing abundance of negative thoughts. Yeah. Dan is here to shift your thinking so that things like this will just start showing up.
Yeah. Love it. Although that's a great story. And it's interesting too, because what I want you to know, and one of the reasons that I do these shows is, even though I'm a law of attraction trainer and practitioner and all of that, so are Bettina and Penny and Lori practices as well, it's not to say we don't sometimes get this mind frick as well. Like, I thinking, I don't know if I can afford that, or I don't know if I have enough money to do that. And, as soon as you start to do that, to go there, just be aware. Be aware, like Penny said, we got an abundance of thoughts. There's no lack of thoughts. Just that we want to shift those thoughts because we want to make those thoughts more positive. So, it happens to us too, but the beauty of knowing how to use the law of attraction is it only happens for seconds. And then we say, this is where in the three-step process that I teach in my program, this is where the allowing comes in, and this is where I think the secret fell down a bit. There are definite ways to tools to use to allow, and Penny used one of them. She said, "You know what? I'm just going to let it go to the universe." And when she saw that white convertible, I'm so glad you got the red, Penny. I'm sure it was more fun. I would have got the red too, but hey, if they offered me the white or the blue, I would have taken it and said thank you, but the red is awesome. But she just looked at it and went, wow, I would love to have that car, but she didn't go, crap, there's that car, and look at old cheapo me, I'm not going to spend another $400, and I'll probably see that car driving around everywhere I go, and it's either going to be the white one, the blue one, or the red one. She didn't spend all the time and waste energy doing that. She just said, man, I'd love to have that car. And look what she attracted. That's a beautiful story. I love it. Bettina, we're going to talk about when people say, I don't have enough energy. And I know you're a busy mom and you've got a busy household and you're a solopreneur. So let's have you tell us about that.
Yeah, well, I'm a thinker. My learning style is digital, and I really, really like to think all the time, and I think a lot. And sometimes I spend so much time thinking and trying to figuring everything out, and it's impossible. So, and oh my God, it takes up all my energy and I get so tired. So what I do is I actually ask myself and stop myself and think, focus on what I really want to happen, and that is to get my energy back and reset that. So every time I let go, and everything falls into place, and I get my energy back, and I am then capable of getting things done much more effectively than I would if I was trying to figure everything out. So let go and let law of attraction do the work.
Right, let law of attraction
every time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know, a lot of us women are, we're busy solopreneurs. We've got families. Some of us have, children that we're still taking care of, or young teenagers or young adults. And then, there's partners, spouses, friends, or whatever. And then also, Penny's talking about, her topics are often about the self-care, because I know, she's got a mother that she's taking care of. So a lot of people that are in the baby boomer age, although Penny is a lot younger than I am. But anyway, we're not talking about age right now.
Nonsense.
That's right. But, when you have those parents to take care of as well, you might say, well, I only have so much time, I only have so much money to go around as well to get things done, because if I'm doing that, taking care of them, I'm not bringing in an income for me, so how am I going to work that out? And then, oh my goodness, I'm so tired with everything that I'm doing. Those are real things that go on. So I'm going to shift the way you think about that. I'm going to give you 3 steps. So I'd love it if you are a note taker, then take this down, or you can watch this recording later. But we're going to do some what's called reframing here. So the very first thing that we need to do, and Lori, we'll just start with you. You can say this when you see it. We're going to do a reframe.
I don't have enough.
And what might it be enough what?
Don't have enough. I don't know. I don't have enough.
Okay, maybe you say I don't have enough knowledge right now. I wasn't prepared to answer this question. So if you reframe it, what's the reframe going to look like? And she's frozen, so we're going to move on to Bettina there. All right, Bettina, so give us an example. So we're going to reframe. Instead of saying, I don't have enough.
Energy.
Okay.
I always have enough energy.
Right. I always have enough. And that's the reframe right there. Now, you might be someone that practices affirmations. Affirmations are great if they work for you. But you have to believe that they will work for you, because we can do this. If I do the ask, believe, receive, we can ask for what we want, but if we don't believe it's going to happen, you're absolutely right, it's not going to happen. So we have to reframe. So that's the first tool, is reframing. If affirmations work, I know that as a law of attraction trainer, Penny, what's the we don't use affirmations per se, but we use that little saying, I am in the
I am in the process of, and then fill in the blank. So
right.
I am in the process of attracting my ideal vacation. I'm in the process of booking that cruise. I'm in the process of meeting that ideal prospect, or I'm in the process of having a lunch meeting with my ideal client. So, or I'm in the process of wearing a size 10.
And attracting those. And exactly. So that's the reframe. That's step number 1. Reframe it. Just
I'm back.
Okay, Lori. So I always have enough.
I don't have enough ideal clients for my tours.
Okay.
So I always have enough ideal clients for my tours.
Okay. And if you were using a law of attraction, what might be the phrase that we use often? I'm in the process of attracting my ideal clients. Right. And the reason that we, as law of attraction trainers, like to say I'm in the process of, is because it takes a lot of the pressure off you. Like, I'm in the process of attracting more ideal clients as well. I'm in the process right now of attracting people to sign up for my 4-part law of attraction training that's coming up. So I'm in the process. I don't feel anywhere in lack. I actually do have one person signed up right now, but I haven't started talking about it. But I know that I'm in the process of attracting the people that I need to sign up for my law of attraction, and it's going to be a fabulous program. So number 2 for changing your scarcity lack consciousness into a prosperous abundance one is to, and we all know this one, Bettina, say it when you see it.
So what do I want?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're going to reset that vibe, and we use this one all the time. In fact, I use it and give when I do my law of attraction talks, because Penny and Bettina and I do talks, and we have meetups and things like that, which they can tell you about at the end of the show. But I like to give these reset vibe buttons out, and I wear it, and so even if I don't have it on, I just go, if I get in that negative spiral, I go, okay, reset vibe. What do I want? Or if you're talking with somebody who's kind of a naysayer and grumbly, or maybe you're taking care of an elderly person, or maybe even your husband or whatever, and they're just kind of grumbling about what's going on, and you say, dear, so what do you want? What could we get you here, right? Or what could we do? So it's always focusing on what you do want. So that's step number 2. And this one, step number 3, I think is to me one of the most important things that I think you can do. And this is where I think we could even say a little bit of self-care comes in here, Penny. So Penny, say this one when you see it.
Do what matters. Ask yourself, does this matter? That's an important question, Dana. Does this matter?
Right. Does it matter? If you say you don't have enough time, okay, well, we all have the same amount of time in the day. What is it that you really need to do today? And what is it that you can focus on? For me, yesterday, all I focused on was this. I didn't look at emails until the end of the day. I just got focused on my program. Everything came together beautifully. I'm really happy with what's going on today, and I'm very grateful for that. So I'm always thanking the universe for bringing that to me. But I had to look at the day because I have some care things that I need to do right now. So I have to ask this question, okay, what matters? Well, to me, what mattered today was this, making it a great show, informative, educational, empowering, all of that, and it's all come together beautifully. I could have chosen to do other things, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to ask this question, does it matter? So those 3 things, reframing your words, is the first thing that we want you to do. Oops, where's my reframe? So step number 1 is reframe. So this is what we want to focus on, is I always have enough, or I'm in the process of attracting what I need to attract. Step number 2 is resetting the vibe and always asking yourself, so what do I want? Because when we do that, Bettina, where does our energy go when we ask ourselves, what do we want?
Our energy goes to what we focus on.
Right.
And when
and
we,
is it,
yeah, to the positive side.
Positive vibe, right? Yeah. Our vibration, we get the high five, we're feeling good, all of that good stuff happens for us. And then again, the third thing, is ask yourself, does this matter? So, Lori, I'm going to start with you. If I was to ask you the question, or if you had to make some choices, and the first thing you said, well, is, I don't have enough time to do that tomorrow. How would you be able to turn that around? I don't have enough time to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, it would just be what do I need? What do I think I need to do tomorrow, and what's the most important?
Exactly.
And what can I let go, or what can I move to another day? But focus on what is the important things, the important
Perfect. Exactly. And so you're going to, I always have enough time to do the important things, and you did this. You asked yourself, what do I want? And also you threw in this question, the really important one, does that matter? Does it matter? And another topic that we could get into when we're talking about does it matter it came up. I decided I wouldn't bring it into this one. I'll probably do another show on it. But, you know, how much is enough for us? How many things do we have to have in our life, right? How many things do we have going on? How many things do we need to buy? You know, our society is very big on thinking that, okay, so we need the next biggest and greatest thing. Okay, so this is I think it's an iPhone 4. So those techie people out there, sorry, I don't have the $25,000 Apple Watch or whatever that costs, because personally, I've asked myself, does it matter? You know, it might matter to you. You might want the next latest and greatest. You know, maybe this is the time of the year that you're going to go shopping for some clothes or whatever. So when you do that, you know, first of all, tell yourself that, yeah, I've got enough. I've got enough to buy the things that matter. I've got enough time. I always have enough time to do the things that matter. And I always have enough energy to do the things that matter. And what I want to say here, Penny, I'm so glad that you're talking about self-care, because I really do want, because a lot of the women that are listening to this would love your show as well, that the self-care thing, you know, for me, this is what my day looks like, and it's pretty much a routine and ritual that I do, where I don't get up and say, oh my God, you know, I don't have enough time to get everything done that I need to do. I've got to say, okay, you know, I always have enough time, because I've trained myself to use the law of attraction. I've trained myself to be mindful about it. So when I get up, I get a coffee first, okay. Then I meditate. Okay, some people may say, well, you know, you shouldn't be having coffee, but whatever, that's what I do, because you know what, people? It matters to me that I have a coffee, okay? Then I do my meditating, I do my journaling, I do my yoga exercise, which I love, and then, you know, I've already set my intention for the day. I know the things that I want to get done. And that just makes for a more mindful day for me. And when I find myself, you know, should I get into this little headspace, which, you know what, we all have monkeys that can get in our circus sometimes, and, you know, I sometimes say, you know, I've had a 3-ring circus, but what I do to myself is I just say this, reset that vibe. So what do I want? Well, I don't want to feel stressed today. So what can I do? Well, I could sit and I could just be quiet for a few minutes, or I could listen to a tape. There's so much good information that you can get, you know, just by Googling something, meditation tape or something, if you're at your computer and you just needed to be quiet. I love what Penny does, going out into nature to feel that abundance around her. That's just a wonderful, wonderful way to do it. And, you know, from a mind, body, spirit perspective, you know, we've covered how the mind works, you know, taking the self-care and working with spirit. Now, I'm just going to say something about spiritual things. And actually, when Penny told her story about the convertible, I got these goosebumps. And I was watching Dr. Christian Northrup. She's one of my new favorite women. Goddesses Never Age, if you want to read that book and find out why you are ageless. Anyway, she was saying things that we get goosebumps. The hair, she's a doctor as well as very spiritual, and she said the hair on her arm, you know, we get a goosebump and it pulls it up. And she said that's a direct connection to source. So I thought, I like that, because when Penny said about the convertible, I got goosebumps, and Bettina had said something, and I got goosebumps when she said it, because it was just like, whoa, that's amazing. So I like to say I'm open to receiving infinite abundance from source, however it may come to me. I don't care if it's a gift, if someone, you know, if I get something in the mail from somebody, I get a coupon, I get up in the morning and the weather forecast said rain, which is not my favorite thing, but I'm working on that, you know, having a better mindset about that. But it was sunny, and it was glorious, and it was just perfect weather, and I just said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I can't say that well, I'm going to be accountable. The way, you know, I could say, okay, I brought the sunshine in, but, you know, sometimes you just have to bring the sunshine into your life yourself. So we're just about out of time, and just before we do that and wrap up with these three wonderful women, I do want to tell you about a program that I have coming up. It's called the 4-part Law of Attraction for Women Entrepreneurs Business Abundance Series. You can find it on my website, danasmithers.com/programs, law-of-attraction. And the beautiful part of this program is it's going to be for 4 weeks. And this is a little bit of what the outline will be. It's going to be starting in October. And it's going to be on a program like this, Google. So you can be on the panel like you see the ladies today, or you can just be viewing, as many of you are. We're going to work on how the law of attraction really works, more than what we talked about today, how to deliberately attract. We're going to talk about allowing and action plans that you actually need to put into place, because it is one thing to put out there what you want, but there sometimes are things that you need to do. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about attracting abundance, and I'm going to teach you EFT, which is a tapping technique, which is a good one to know if you need to release some stress, or you're feeling like I don't have enough time, money, energy to do something. We're going to do the tapping. I'm going to teach you how to do that. With that, you do get a 30-page workbook like this, which you'll be downloading, and there's lots of great exercises in it as well, and we'll be doing that together on the program. And you're also going to get mailed to you personally by me my 2 favorite buttons: Ask, Believe, Receive, and the Reset 5. So that's a little gift from me for that. So if you're interested, go and check it out. To be on the panel, I've only got 7 spots for that. But so if you want to be on the panel and get a little bit more personal attention, then you want to get signed up right away. So we're just going to really quickly recap, and I'm going to have the ladies just tell you again how you can reach them. So Lori, what would be one takeaway for, oops, okay, we lost Lori again, so I'm going to go to Bettina. What's one takeaway for you today, Bettina?
Oh, well, I think it's so important that we reframe and remember that all the time, that we have that in our mindset all the time: reframe, reframe, reframe. Because when we reframe, we reset our vibes, and then we are able to receive what we want.
Right, exactly, perfect. Thank you so much.
Stop trying to figure everything out.
Right.
Leave it to law of attraction.
Yeah, allow it, put it out there, leave it to law of attraction. So people can find you at focusandflow.dk.
Yeah, and there are lots of free stuff in there, videos, and
perfect.
When I do seminars and introductions and whatever. So.
Perfect. And are they all in Danish?
Yes.
Some English as well, Bettina?
Yeah, I am able to do it in English, but so far I've only been doing it in Danish. But I do have. I interviewed you, and I interviewed Michael, and I've done some hangouts together with Jackie McLean.
Right.
And they're in there as well, and of course they're in English. So.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, and I do hope that you will attract some people watching that will want to check you out more.
I'm absolutely sure I will.
Yeah. Thank you, Bettina. And Lori?
Sorry, I had to log back in. What's the question?
So what would be a takeaway for you today? What might be something that you're going to remember or even share with somebody?
It's really this. So what do you want?
Yeah.
So what? Focusing on that, forgetting, just don't. Please, let's go to somewhere where you want to tell me what you want.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Good. All right. And thank you, Laura. A little inside information there going on. So, Penny, what would be a good takeaway for you today?
Well, I've been doing this since 2002, when I realized I wanted to change my life. And so it's been a little bit of a process, but the universe is always in process. And Bettina was so right when she said, reframe, reframe, reframe. And Lori, so what do I want? But I realized, and this is why I became a trainer and a coach, is I realized over the course of the years that I may have been reframing, but still getting the same results because I didn't know how to reframe correctly. Right. So that's why this program that you're offering, I mean, these kinds of programs is what shifted my thoughts, my words. So it's important to take these kind of courses. And I know your course, Dana, is just the program that you're offering will do that fast track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? It'll fast track you to that. Oh, I know how to reframe that correctly now. Oh, so my so do I wants are really what I do want, because you teach us how to do that. So that's really important. And I just would like to go back to the nature thing and how the abundance of the universe is just like totally more than we could ever even fathom. And so one little tip that's really good, because the universe is friendly and it wants to give us everything that we ask for. So one little tip when you get out in nature is just lean up against a tree and say thanks for having my back.
I love that.
Thanks for having my back. Yeah. So that's just a little tip for self-care.
And Penny, people can get a hold of you at pennypetty.com.
Yeah, or hangoutwithpenny.com, and you can watch me Friday nights, 8 p.m. It's Hangout with Penny. And I'm actually, like I said, I started in 2002. You mentioned about my attraction box. Well, mine was all about making my vision boards and all that. So I am doing a program November, the whole month of November, on how to do that. So.
Oh, great. Excellent. Good. That'll be fun. Thank you, Penny. So our time is up. We're right on time today, which I thank the universe for that, and because the universe, or law of attraction, is always going to give you what you need to do, know, or have. And for me, I like to make that spiritual connection as well. So before I put out there what I want, my intention, I just take a minute and connect to source. And for me, it just works a little bit better. You do whatever feels good to you. That's the whole point of that. So again, I'd love to invite you to my program, and I just want to say something a little bit cheeky here, that when you go to my website, you're going to see the price of the course. It's very, very, very affordable for anybody. So if you find yourself saying, I don't know if I can afford that, I want you to reframe it and say that, oh yes, I have enough money for that, because it's 2 easy payments of a very low amount. I want you to reset your vibe and ask yourself, what do you want? And the third question, does it matter that you need know more about how to deliberately use the law of attraction? Because the law of attraction is always at work, but wouldn't it be a nice thing to know how to deliberately use it? All right then, that's our show for today. I've loved it. And Penny, Lori, and Bettina, thank you so much for joining me today. So let's say bye.
Thank you.
Everybody for now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.